Hey, it's Adam, and in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to use magic mushrooms for beginners. I get many questions in real life and also on the internet from people who want to start using magic mushrooms, or at least just want to try it for the first time. They've heard good things about them and they want some tips for how to use them properly, how to use them safely, how to prevent bad trips, and also to get the most wholesome experience possible. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all of those tips. Now, before we start, it's important that you know that magic mushrooms are illegal in many countries and they can potentially be dangerous if you use them irresponsibly. So I don't want you getting into any legal trouble. This video is for harm reduction purposes only. That being said, the odds of you having a bad trip on magic mushrooms, if you use these tips that I'm giving you here, are basically zero. You are not going to have a bad trip, especially if you follow these tips that I'm going to be giving you right now. So let's get into it. What are magic mushrooms? Magic mushrooms are a psychedelic fungus that contains the active ingredient psilocybin. And this psilocybin is very, very similar to LSD and is also similar to DMT. They're not the same. They have different effects, but the psilocybin is like a naturally occurring psychoactive that attaches to certain receptors in your brain and it changes your state of consciousness. It basically raises your consciousness and it produces all sorts of effects such as shifted visuals, heightened feelings of euphoria, happiness, feelings of peace in the present moment, feelings of connection to nature. And this is awesome, and I have many other videos talking about how these are very powerful tools for personal development. Now, what are my tips for using magic mushrooms? So the first tip is that you need lots of free time and you need a place where you're going to feel safe and secure. So this means that if you're planning on doing magic mushrooms, you need to take the entire day off, and preferably you even take the entire next day off. So you have 2 full days off where you have no responsibilities. You don't have people calling you. You don't have to go to work later. You have the day off. That's very important. And preferably you want to take the mushrooms on an empty stomach. So when you have your magic mushrooms, I'm not going to tell you where you can get them from. This is not that type of video. Just make sure you have a reliable source. Make sure you're not taking some random poison. Make sure that you get them from a trustable source. And you want to measure out with a scale. So if you don't have a scale, a gram scale, go buy yourself a gram scale. Or if you have a friend who has one, use theirs, or you can order it from Amazon. It's like $30. Don't be cheap. This is worth your investment. You don't want to be eyeballing your dosage. You want to have a precise dosage. So weigh out 1.5 grams of mushrooms. Now this is the perfect beginner dose. This is enough for you if you're a beginner. You are going to feel it and it won't be too powerful, but you are going to get a good effect. So anywhere between 1.5 and 2 grams is a perfect beginner dose. So when you take the mushrooms, there's many different ways you can take them. You can make a tea out of them. You can get an alcohol extract. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to say the best way to take them is to just chew them, just to literally put them in your mouth and chew them very well, and swallow. Now, a lot of people have a problem with the taste of the mushrooms, and I understand why. They taste very gross. Now, my personal advice is just to kind of soldier your way through the taste. Yes, they taste gross, but it's only a couple minutes of gross taste in your mouth. Chew it, swallow it. It's not a big deal. Now, I understand some people are very sensitive to taste and they might want to throw up. In this case, you can eat it with like a strawberry, or maybe eat it with like a tangerine, a piece of fruit, a small piece of fruit. Eat it with a handful of berries. Don't put it in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Don't put it on pizza. That is going to make you nauseous. Instead, eat it with a small piece of fruit, like an apple, maybe even some honey, something like that, if the taste really bothers you. But honestly, the taste isn't that bad. Just chew it and swallow. A lot of people overhype. They say it tastes really bad when actually it doesn't. So you also want to be taking the mushrooms on an empty stomach. Make sure you have an empty stomach, or a very, very small piece of fruit, something light. You don't want to have a lot of food in your stomach when you do mushrooms, which is why I always recommend you start your trip in the morning. So wake up in the morning, go through your morning routine, brush your teeth, relax, play some music, eat nothing. I personally eat nothing because you're not going to get hungry during your trip. When you're on the mushrooms, you won't be hungry, I promise. So empty stomach is the best. Now, about your environment, make sure that you are in a safe and secure environment, preferably alone. Now, a lot of people like to do mushrooms with their friends. I don't recommend this because other people have their own energy that is going to be distracting you during your trip, and it might make you feel insecure. The best way to do it is to be alone. You're going to be safe, you're going to be secure, you're going to be in control. Now, the fear that people have when they're alone is that something bad's going to happen to them, that they're going to lose their mind, that they're going to get transported into another world, or that they're going to have an anxiety attack. This is not true at all. When you're alone, you feel safe, you feel secure, and you also have the opportunity to dive deeply inwards to maybe heal some personal trauma or to just enjoy the present moment. So find a safe place. So you can do it in your house when you're home alone. There's no one else home. It's just you in your house. That works. I personally like to do it at the park in a setting where there aren't many people around. So if you have like a park near your house where there aren't many people, if you can find yourself a nice little corner under a tree, set up a blanket, then that will also be nice. You're going to want at least 4 to 6 hours alone because the mushrooms last 4 to 6 hours. So after 6 hours, you should be pretty much sober again. Okay. So now we finished the actual logistics of the mushroom trip. You know how to do them. You know where to do them. Now we're going to talk about your mindset. Now this is very important too, and I'm going to be preparing you for what might come up during your mushroom trip. So what mushrooms do is they raise your consciousness. They increase your awareness of the present moment. They make you hyper aware of the now. And this is why they're so useful, and this is why they're so beautiful and so profound. Now, this is also why mushrooms can potentially be so scary. Because many people, in fact, 100% of people, has some type of emotional baggage or psychological trauma that they carry with them. Some people have self-consciousness, some people suffer from depression, anxiety, all that stuff. Now, it is possible, it doesn't mean that this is guaranteed to happen, but it is possible that, let's say you just broke up with your girlfriend. So you're doing mushrooms, you just broke up with your girlfriend. It is possible that the mushrooms will trigger some deep emotions within you, some very powerful emotions. You might cry, you might get sad, you might get depressed, you might get scared. Now, it's important that you remember that this is okay. This is healing. Don't resist these negative emotions. Don't try and control your trip. Just surrender to the emotions. Surrender to the present moment. And I promise you will have a beautiful, amazing trip. This is key. Surrender. When people come to me and they ask me questions about bad trips, they tell me they have a bad trip, I know the reason why you had a bad trip is because you were fighting the experience. Don't fight the experience. You are safe. You are okay. This is a beautiful, profound experience. Allow it to happen. Allow the good feelings to happen in your body. Allow the funny visuals to happen as they do. Just allow, this is a healing experience, and the best way to heal yourself is to be forgiving of yourself and just allow, surrender, allow the present moment to exist as it does, and enjoy and marvel at its beauty. So that's it, basically. Those are all the tips for having a profound and amazing first mushroom trip. That's how you use mushrooms for beginners. Now, these psychedelics are very powerful and they're so beautiful because they can really give you an experience of rebirth. Many people report experiences of being born again. Imagine like you were literally born again and you're able to experience the present moment with fresh eyes. This is such a profound spiritual experience. And if this video resonates with you, that means that you're ready. Because many people, when I bring up mushrooms, a lot of people will say, oh no, that's not for me. Or, oh, no, I don't want to do that, I'm scared. Now, for those people, that means that you're not ready to do them because you're scared, you don't have an intuitive calling to do them. And that's okay. You live your life and enjoy whatever else you're doing in your life. That's fine. You don't have to do mushrooms. But some people resonate with this message. They get excited when I talk about it. They get curious. Now, for those people, that means you're ready. Magic mushrooms will not solve all of your life's problems. However, they could open up a door into the world of spirituality for you, which is very beautiful, very profound, and which is really the purpose of all of life. So if you're interested in that, then magic mushrooms could be for you. I also have many other videos on this channel that will help your magic mushrooms trips go a lot deeper. I have my own personal trip reports, and I also have techniques. I like my technique for emotional mastery. I have meditation techniques and self-inquiry techniques that you can use while you're tripping. My most recent video, it's about, I haven't actually filmed it yet, but it's going to be about this pen over here. So that video will actually help you a lot during your mushroom trips. So thank you so much for listening. Be safe. I hope this video helped you. And if you like this content, subscribe, like, share with your friends, all that stuff. And I will see you in the next one.